Hello. Don't worry. She's fine. I've decided to take some precautions. She's swimming around. She's acting like a fish, but she's not the same fish since I had the event with the tap water. She's still active and she's still swimming around, but I don't really know what's going on. Now, every other fish in my entire house is fine. No problems. Upstairs, downstairs. Um, Fine. As you saw a few days ago, I was dealing with my city shocking my pipes. And when that happens here, it has a negative effect on my discus. Doesn't seem to bother anything else. Definitely bothers my discus when the chemical levels in the pipes are high. And I understand everybody's going to say I use Prime and I never have problems with chloramine. Your city's not my city, for one. Two, there's actually a new toxic chemical that was found. I'll put the link again, I guess, on this video, but I've put the link to the article on several videos. Let me pause right now so I can go look at the name of the new toxin. Here is the article. Okay. Here's the URL, earth.com. Right? Or credit where credit's due. Not trying to rebroadcast someone's article. I'm just talking about it. Understanding this is the name of the newly discovered toxin. This toxin is a byproduct of chloramine. Now, since I started keeping discus, okay, twice a year, and I've noticed this twice a year, and it's actually happening around the same time every year. When I rolled back my videos, it was early January last year. I got hit as well. So there's a schedule. And they just don't tell us exactly what it is, but I'm learning what it is based just through observation of my fish. It's not just observation. I've taken losses to this. So to recap, because my city has a complex groundwater issue where there's a situation where basically sewage can get into the river, and we have other issues too. So certain times a year they shock, or they're just doing this twice a year for the hell of it. I'm not entirely sure. I do know that we have complex groundwater issues, and I believe that's why my city goes to an extreme when it comes to shocking the system. So I just want to point out that's probably why you are in a chloramine city and Prime works just fine for you, because every other day out of the year, that's how it is for me. But for a week in the spring and a week just after New Year's, I get hit with this. And what this is my city's using probably, when we shock our pipes, probably using an incredible amount of chloramine. Now, I'm close to the water treatment plant. I'm not far away. So, as this shock treatment travels through the system, I'm probably, from a parts per million perspective, getting hit very, very hard. Okay? And I've really got to sit down and say that word to myself like 50 times in a row so I can remember it, because I've just forgotten it again, but I just showed you guys, so bear with me. I'm getting old and the memory's kind of struggling sometimes. But you know where I'm getting at. And so what happens, and what has been happening when my biggest discus in the tank are always the ones that take the hit. So I can't explain why that is. Heck, even modern science doesn't know enough about this new chemical yet to even 100% say that it's safe. The way that they're talking right now, and officially, is there's no evidence, quote unquote, there's no evidence that this newly found toxin byproduct of chloramine is harmful to humans. But if you read the article as well, they also say that the the whole reason they started using chloramine was because they thought chlorine might have a cancer risk associated to it. You know what I'm saying? So then they somehow determined that the more complex molecule, chloramine, would be safer. I'm not sure what brought them to that conclusion. I find it to be very curious. One of those very sort of things, because, you know, chlorine is still in chloramine. It's just they added some shit to it, you know? Actually, what they did was they added a molecule of ammonia to a chlorine molecule. Boom, you have chloramine. I'm not sure how that makes things safer. Ammonia is not exactly good for us either, but that was the pitch. That's what we were told. That's just the way it's been. So now, after years and years, a couple decades of using chloramine, oops, there's the byproduct, and it's pretty nasty looking, and it is, because it kills my fish. And again, the only reason I'm noticing it's all the variables. I just my proximity to the water treatment plant, the fact that my city might be using more chloramine than the average city because we have complex ground issues. So it's kind of like a perfect storm. But my theory here is, from a parts per million perspective, I'm getting hit harder than probably most people, keeping discus in my part of town probably very difficult. There are a lot of people giving up fish keeping around here. I've noticed that, and but that's been going on for a long time. And yeah, it happens twice a year, and it's when they're shocking. I can smell it. I can smell it when it's happening. I start turn on my shower and sniffing the steam in the room, and you can kind of that's that pool smell. You can kind of pick it up when it's strong. So I have to be more cautious in early January. Everyone should be more cautious in early January in the city of Ottawa when it comes to doing your water changes. And what I mean by that is the what carries me through is like dosing prime very high. So like triple dosing, even quadruple. You can dose prime up to 5 times the recommended dose safely. Okay, so but you wouldn't want to do more than that. And at the same time, it only lasts 48 hours. So as say you're quadruple dosing, well, then you're doing a water change in less than 48 hours. Because if it's the prime that's keeping your fish alive, it's only going to last somewhere around 48 hours, probably a little less. And then the effect goes away, and the fish the poison will hit the fish again. So what you have to do is do a major water change every day and a half, and triple or quadruple dose with prime until the shock, the chloramine shocking that the city has done to your pipes has been cleared, because it'll sit in the pipes for a while till people take showers all over the place, and the water gets drawn through the system, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's basically a week-long deal. So this week I've been doing excessive water changes and triple dosing with prime. So 2 weeks a year I have to worry about that. My city does not announce when it happens. Probably a lot of people's cities won't. That's the deal, though. That's what's going on here. So because my fish have had a stress event, well, namely Big Red, that stress event she's fighting right now. She's repairing. She's getting over probably some gill damage. Who knows what else was done, because it's a toxin. So it's like she's been poisoned. Okay? And because she took on a stress event, her immune system has now been taxed. And because her immune system's been taxed, if there is something floating around in my tank that is, that she could that could get into her body, it will have gotten in. So, for all of the reasons stated above, and there's nothing wrong with her. This fish does not have parasites. I do not believe. I could be wrong, because could have came in with the food, but I just don't think that's the issue. based on the timing, based on the whole water thing, I believe she's been poisoned by that chemical. And the reason my fish are, the byproduct chemical has to hit a certain level of ppms before the fish will die. And that's why it's not happening in your city, but it's happening in mine. It might not even be happening 20 miles away from me in my city. You know what I'm saying? Because they're further away from the epicenter, being the treatment plant where the chemical is being dumped into the system. So this is, because some people are confused about what I'm getting at with this whole thing, and I'm trying to be a little more clear. So hopefully I got my point across with it there. You know, sometimes I don't do that as well as I want to, but that's what I'm dealing with, and this is how I'm learning to deal with it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.